Bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Dude, I wore my church socks for you.
Your what?
My church socks.
Church socks?
Yeah, they're holy.
I was like, what are you talking about? Dude, they look like blunt stones, those shoes, but they're like a little bit shorter. Reef. Okay.
Shout out Reef, dude. Reef is
Shout out Reef.
When it comes to shoes.
Yeah.
Are we good to pop these?
Oh yeah. Go for it. Pop them. Dude, I feel so far from you.
Yeah.
I just started using kind of the setup I have now, and it's like creates more distance, but that's all good.
I don't know. I think this is a grade A setup.
Thank you, dude. I really like the spot. And if I ever have to move out of this spot, I don't know what I'm going to do because literally I shoot all my content here.
Yeah.
I shoot my podcast here. Like, this is where I film videos for my band. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Buy it.
Yeah, I could. Maybe I will. I would like to. He's talked about it. Or we've talked about it. I've talked about it with the owner. So, yeah, we'll see.
I feel like this place is you, too.
Dude, the one thing that bums me out is the HOA. It's just so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And I've just heard nightmares about the HOA here. So it's like, do I want to get in that? The HOA for this spot is $1,085
a month.
Yes.
Wow.
Just for this unit, but that does include underground heated parking. It includes heat. It includes air conditioning. It includes water. It includes internet.
Okay.
The only thing it doesn't include as far as utilities is electric, but still, that's like. And he said it's gone up twice this year. They can just kind of raise it whenever they want.
Oh, just like property taxes.
Yeah.
I just paid mine today. They were up like 30%, I want to say.
And the property taxes here are $5,800.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's more than my house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's more than my house. How is that much just for this unit?
Yeah.
Like, that I don't understand.
Yeah, you're barely on property. You're above property.
I know. Yeah, there's like 4 levels below me, and we're on this 1,000-foot like footprint.
Right.
1,000 square foot footprint, and there's 4 beneath me, and we're paying $5,800 each, probably.
So
doesn't make sense.
What's 6 times 4?
Too much.
Too much.
Yes. Well, $2,400, $24,000.
$24,000 in just these 4 units that are on not even a tenth of an acre.
Yeah. So I mean, between us all 5, it's $30,000.
Yeah.
$30,000. Yeah. I just bought a motorcycle that I rode home from from Salt Lake City.
I saw that.
And I went and got my stuff done. And she goes, "Hey, did you bring a checkbook?" And I'm like, "No, I was going to pay with card." And she goes, "Well, I just would really like to save you a fee because the government's going to take a fee for using a card." I go, "The government's already taking $800 for me buying a motorcycle from a private party from someone else. Crazy. So I don't care about the fee, like they're already taking $800. Yeah. Like, what is that?" Yeah.
What drove that, by the way, to go to Salt Lake City?
Oh, dude.
Did you just sell your old bike and find another one?
Yeah, just a love of adventure, love of a kind of a wild thing. I've wanted the BMW R9T for like 10 years. It's a bike that I've just always loved. And earlier this year, I started really looking, and they're not very common. You can't find them a lot of places. And I found this one out in Salt Lake City, and, buying, cross state, sending, a good chunk of change without ever meeting a person is like, I just trusted this guy. I trust this guy. He's good. He's a good dude. And he is. He's a homie. We're going to go ride dirt bikes in Utah later this year. He's a cool dude. So I told him, he goes, "Dude, you're crazy for doing that." And I'm like, "Bro, I got to do shit like that every now and then just to remind myself that there's good people in the world."
Yeah.
Because you can create this image in your mind that everyone's bad, everyone's out to get you, everyone's dishonest. It's like, nah, that's really not true. There are those people out there, but the majority of people are good. And they're great people.
Agreed. My dad actually said that when we were on vacation.
He
said like 95% of people actually probably
95 is high, but
95 is pretty high.
I like
but
that
like
hopeful.
5%.
I like that hopeful outlook.
Yeah.
It's good.
Hopeful outlook.
Dude, thank you for being on my podcast.
Yeah.
I'm excited to learn from you because you're an old pro. You've filmed some podcasts in your day.
Couple
How many?
Couple 75.
How many?
Couple 75.
Couple 75? What does that mean?
Yes.
Around 75?
Yeah,
okay.
75, yeah.
I think I meant like 175, like a couple 175.
And then I did, I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 with a buddy of mine.
Cool.
So, I don't know, 75, 80.
Yeah.
I mentally committed to 100, so
You can
gotta
count
pick it
this
back
towards
up
the
at some-
100, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I
Is that
think you
cheating or
can.
no?
I don't know. Depends on what you really meant in your head when you said, I'm going to film 100.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that I really meant anything. I think I just threw a number out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Cool. Well, I want to talk about that later in the podcast, but I have 5 questions I'm going to ask you about
here we
because
go.
in my mind, I don't know you that well,
Yeah.
but we know each other a decent amount, enough to know some things about you. And I go, here are 5 areas of expertise that I feel like Mitch has that I don't.
Whoa.
And so we don't have to follow this whole format, but sometimes it's kind of fun to like do this. But the first one is entrepreneurship while growing a family. You're building a business, you're raising a family, 2 things that demand pretty much everything you've got.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that tension? And are there times that one of them has taught you to be better at the other? You know, being a dad has taught you to be a better entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur has taught you to be a dad better.
I would say, yeah, being a dad teaches me to be a better entrepreneur.
Really?
I think that being a dad teaches you kind of everything that you need to know about life. Patience being the main thing.
Yeah.
Patience with your kids, patience with people.
Yeah.
But also like hard work.
Yep.
Like kids are hard work.
Yep.
They're very difficult.
How many kids do you have?
4.
4.
So I have a 5-year-old, a 3.5, a 1.5, and 4 months. So
That's wild.
yeah, 5-year-old is like getting to that stage where he's like kind of starting to get it, but every once
She's
in
actually a
while,
real human now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, he still has his outbursts, which it is what it is. He's only 5, but like it's so funny as a parent, you hold these high expectations for the oldest
Yeah.
because you also have like
Even being
a
aware.
newborn baby. Yeah, being aware, listening. Like,
Yeah.
you're the leader, so we have to have these higher expectations.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a short period of time that like
In the grand scheme,
in the
like it's
grand
like a
scheme of
blip.
things,
Yeah, don't miss it.
And then I can guarantee you in 20 years or 30 years or however long it is, when someone asks me if you could go back to one time in your life, where would you go back to? I know that I would say when my kids were young,
Yeah.
like right now.
That's such a crazy good like thing to know and recognize and be aware of right now versus in 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a constant reminder, to be honest. And by no means, like I forget that reminder oftentimes.
Yeah.
This morning I forgot that reminder and, had a tiff with my daughter. But,
That happens, dude.
It happens. It
Happens.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always had this idea, and I don't know if it's true. I mean, I grew up in a family of 6 kids, but
God bless your mom.
yeah, they're amazing. If and when I have kids, which I do want some, my best friend, Ben, who I've known since I was 11 or 12, 10 maybe, he just had his first kid. And I've seen a lot, 3 of my 5 siblings have kids. 2 of them have 5 kids each. One of them has 2 of their own, and then 2 stepkids. And so I've seen a lot of kids come into the world, and it's always like, oh, cool, that's awesome. But for some reason, I didn't connect it the same way that I'm connecting with my best friend, being my same age and kind of like the same life trajectory as I having a kid, and not totally the same. Like he was married, that ended. Got married again, and then this marriage, they're able to have a kid, and it's like the first time I've been like, oh, I need that. Like before, I've been like, I could be a dad, maybe that'd be cool. I think I'd be a good dad.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, oh my gosh, like just see, and he made me the Godfather, which is amazing. And at first I was like, why has no one ever asked me to be a godfather? Like, that's insane. I'm a freaking great uncle. I'd be the best godfather. And then Ben reminded me the point of a godfather is to make sure you outlive the real father.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not necessarily like that demographic of like, safety or like whatever. But it's so fun. And he's just like, Steve, I've nothing I've ever experienced in life comes close to this.
Yeah.
And he's 41, so he's more patient. He's got more wisdom. It's beautiful. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, that's a benefit for sure to having kids at a later age.
Yeah.
Is just you've seen the world
Yeah.
a little bit more.
You've experienced a
And
bit.
I'm not saying that I haven't by any means.
Yeah.
I'm 32. So we started having kids when I was 27.
Dude, you're a cool 32-year-old. For having 4 kids, I'm like, dude, I want to be like you.
Yeah, right. But I mean, yeah, you just learn a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know anything when I had my son.
Yeah.
My wife and I, when she was pregnant, we weren't married yet. We were living together. And when we started living together, I had kind of like mentally said, after a year of living together, I don't know why I did that, but then I'll ask her to marry me. And like literally a year and a day or something went by, and I asked her to marry me, but she was already 7 months pregnant at that point. Mm-hmm. 6 or 7. And I just didn't know anything really about life. Like I thought I did, but I didn't. And you just see so much growth with kids because you just have to.
Yeah, you're forced to.
Yeah.
Which most people don't change or grow unless they're forced to.
Right.
That's an interesting thing with kids. There's where that pressure comes from, which is awesome.
Yeah, you can flop.
Never thought that.
Or you can run away, but or you can, try
rise
your
to the occasion.
Best to rise to the occasion and be a good parent.
Something I always thought is like, and my parents were amazing at this. I don't know how they balanced it, but I just see, people with a lot of kids, and sometimes I go, I really want to have like a super, super special relationship. Like I would rather have a special relationship with 1 or 2 kids rather than having 4 kids. I would always be scared that like one got kind of left out or whatever. While I was preparing for this, I read this quote that says, a parent's love is whole no matter how many times divided. And that like kind of changed that for me a little bit. How do you feel about that? Are there times where you're like, wow, this is, because I went to Montana earlier this year with a group of guys, and most of them were dads. And the guy that led the trip was like this. He's like really passionate about like not just raising your kids, but like building your kids. Like he's the type of guy that's gonna like take his kid at 13 and like leave him out in the middle of the woods with a compass and a knife and like find his way back. Like he has all these different benchmarks for challenges he's gonna give his kids and grow his kid into like a man, Yeah. And I'm like, that's cool. It sounds really hard to do with a handful of kids, if you're being that intentional.
That's a little intense. I wrestle with that exact thing all the time is, am I giving enough attention to each one of my kids? And and this might be a low bar, but I try to give each kid 20 minutes a day.
Okay.
Of just like focus time.
Like dead focus, yeah.
Dead focus, like they're in control.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to do. If they want me to be the tickle monster,
yeah.
I'll be the tickle monster for 20 minutes.
Dude, I think that's actually 20 minutes to a kid is like 4 hours.
It is, yeah. And it's really all they need. And I mean, I heard a child psychiatrist talk about that. It's 20 minutes a day with your kid.
Cool.
And like just watch them. Watch them run to the door every time you come home. And I definitely have seen some of the benefits from that.
Cool. That's awesome, man. That's beautiful. Okay, running. That's the next topic. Running, fitness, the mind, keeping sharp, keeping in shape. When we like met last summer, I remember the first thing you told me about yourself is you're a dad. And I don't know, I know a few dads, and not all of them are in like this crazy good shape or whatever.
I don't know about that.
It's hard. I think it can be. But we started running, and I was just like, I was your tail, dude. Like, I could never catch you ever. And it made me so mad. I'm like, this dad's beating me. You are like 8 years younger, though. So that's my like saving grace. What got you into running? And what is that like a mental break for you? Is that like something how do you approach that?
Definitely a mental break.
Yeah.
I grew up playing sports my whole life, played college baseball. I was a pitcher. So part of the like recovery process is running. So just in recovery, I kind of just fell in love with it, and then would do it outside of practice. And then I got into it a little more intensely. I wouldn't say I'm an intense runner by any means, but after college where I made it part of my routine.
Okay.
It was about 3 years ago now. I just woke up one Sunday and decided to run a marathon.
No way.
Just went 26.2.
How far out was the marathon? That day?
I just ran one on my own.
Oh, you just went out and ran one. Let's go.
On my own, yeah.
How were your knees, buddy?
It was brutal after.
Yeah.
So I got to like 10 miles, and I texted my wife. I was like, I'm going the distance today. I think we had 2 kids at this point.
Okay.
And she like blasted it on social media, and now I know that like I don't know how many people saw it, but hundreds or thousands of people saw it.
Really?
And now I had like this pressure on me that I kind of had to finish.
Hundreds of thousands?
Hundreds or thousands.
Oh, I was like, whoa, went
yeah,
viral.
My wife's got like 3 million.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Like kind of accelerated my running, and then just like you kind of turn into the people that you surround yourself with. And I surround myself with a lot of people who like to run, who like to be physically active, who like to be in shape. I mean, I have a sauna. I have a sauna business.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it is a business, absolutely, but I use it personally a lot as well.
I've taken advantage of that a time or two.
Yeah, it's my favorite way to connect with people, and within that, like, it's so cool because you get to connect with people that you saw last week or that you haven't seen in 10 years. Yeah. And anyone who's coming over to sauna is likely in some way, shape, or form healthy. Yeah. So just surrounding myself with that sort of environment is, I think that always just pushes you.
Yeah, 100%. I usually it takes me, I don't have the like best knees. But usually it takes me a while to build up to like running even I ran a marathon in 2022, and since then I don't think I've run further than 3 or 4 miles. It's just not a part of my flow or whatever. Yeah. I like the gym a lot, and so I'm not as big of a runner. I love walking. I walk 5-10 miles a day, but I signed up for a half Ironman later this year. And so this spring, I usually don't run at all in the winter. Like it's cold and whatever. And so about a month ago, I went out to run, and I was like, oh, wow, I feel pretty good, and my knees aren't bothering me. My 3rd run of the year, I ran almost 9 miles at an 8.5-minute pace. And I was like, where did that come from? And no pain in my knees. I've been taking like zinc and some stuff to like help with my joints. Yeah. And I don't know if that helped, or over the winter, I did some like knee exercises that like built muscle around my tibula and things like that. And I just went out and ran 8.5 miles at like almost an 8-minute pace. And I was like, I'm going to catch Mitch. That's my first thought. Yeah. I'm going to get him.
Yeah. Send me a picture of your walk.
Yeah. It felt great though. Yeah, it was awesome.
It's so therapeutic. I mean, it's just a great time to reconnect with nature and reconnect with our creator. And I mean, it's just so freeing. You're out just in the sun. Like, pop your tarp
outside.
off,
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's just
cool.
relieving.
Talk to me about building a successful podcast, because you filmed 75 episodes. This is like my 4th. I want to say this is my 4th. And I think like I want to have a podcast, but I want to actually be genuinely good at connecting with people. I don't want to always have to have a screen to like prompt me, even though I think that's fine. Like you look at like Chris Williamson or some of them, like Joe Rogan. Always have like quotes they can read and stuff that kind of prompts conversation. I think that's cool. But I want to, I don't know if we've talked about this, but John Bernthal with The Real Ones. Oh, yeah. Like almost every podcast I've ever seen with him and his guests are like crying. Yeah. And he's like this big tough dude. He's in all the shoot 'em up movies. And I just go, man, what kind of like environment do you set to create a space where people feel comfortable showing that kind of emotion? Because that's on the podcast or off. Like I'm very drawn to human connection of any sort. And so when someone is vulnerable with me, that really means a lot. Like, and just kind of seeing that on a podcast, I'm always really inspired. Yeah. And I go like, I wonder what you had to do to like set that environment or set the tone. And on podcasts like that, there's usually a crew too, Right. I just set my cameras up by myself and hit play, hit
right
record.
Behind them.
Yeah. So I'm curious what you learned in shooting the podcast. And most people quit after 10.
Yeah, it's like
So what
staggering number. It's like
what was it that
90%.
kept you going? What was it that was kind of driving you?
I had a lot of really, really powerful conversations. And I feel like it was, kind of a similar setup to this.
Yeah.
It was more ragtag than this for sure.
Yeah.
But it was in my basement. I didn't even film the first probably 50 episodes. And
Just recorded?
Just recorded. And just did audio. And I can't even count how many people cried during it. We would sometimes it'd be an hour long.
You got people to cry?
It was very often
It's like
that people were crying.
it's like my
on the
standard of
podcast.
success.
Right.
When I get someone to cry on my podcast, I go, I did it.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think it's about the environment. It's about, right? Like, where does the conversation go? You know, how is the conversation? What are the questions? What are we, what are we talking about? I am not a huge crier. I'm not going to lie. Honestly, it's something I wish I did a little bit more.
Yeah.
I get emotional. I get emotional in prayer a lot. I get emotional. I cry a lot at funerals. But like outside of that, I don't remember the last time I cried not being at a funeral or in prayer.
Wow.
Maybe at church as well, like during worship. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I only cried during like really cheesy, bad movies. Like, and it's not cheesy or bad. It's like when I think it's usually like a point where there's this scene in like Ted Lasso where one of the guys is like what'd you do?
I spilled a little bit.
Oh yeah.
It'll be all right. Might stain your couch.
There's a scene in Ted Lasso where one of the guys is like a soccer player from Africa, and he opens this restaurant. It's like an African restaurant. He's really proud of it. It's like his family's recipes and stuff. And someone comes in and trashes it. It's like a racism thing. And he had to play a game, and he knew that after the game he had to go clean up his restaurant. And when he got to his restaurant to clean up, they won the game. Everyone was celebrating. Everyone was supposed to be out celebrating and having, drinking and having a blast. And when he got to his restaurant, his whole team was there to help him clean up.
No way.
And stuff like, even now, I feel like stuff like that gets me because I want to be that to people, and I want that in my life. I want people like that in my life, And I think especially right now, I don't have like a ton of community. And so that stuff gets me. Like that stuff makes me cry, and I just go like, oh, that's beautiful. It's so special.
Dude, community is so important. But back to your original question, I think was like what makes a successful podcast, and I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, I want to hear
exact answer, but I would say persistency, and not being one of the people that gives up after 10 episodes or whatever it is.
You think
just keep
that
going, even if there's one person listening, that's one person that cares, that's one person that wants to hear from you, that's one person that wants to see the guests that you're bringing on, that's one person that you could change their life. Like we're not here to change the hearts of millions of people. We're here to change the hearts of maybe one person. So
that's great.
It's
did you ever look at your views?
I did. Yeah, for sure.
Or did you not put too much stock in it, though?
I didn't put really any stock into it. There was a period of time where I was completely off social media, and I was just posting audio-only podcasts, which was really cool because I actually looked at it after, and those were some of the most listened to podcasts.
Crazy.
Which is when you're not promoting it, when you're not like telling people to listen, you're just like throwing it out there.
Yeah.
And like Spotify's such a smart platform. They do reward podcasts that are, consistently posting and that get past that 10 episode mark. Yeah. It's actually something that's really been on my heart to get back into.
Cool.
I don't exactly know what that looks like. I know there's a studio now in Minneapolis that does a lot of the editing and a lot of like the camera work, which would be great because...
Is it called Steve Weigel's Apartment?
Yeah. By the way, I've been meaning to talk to you. But that's the most work in the podcast is the back end. and doing all the editing and all the camera work and making sure the audio is clear and the intro music, the outro music.
Yeah.
If you're doing like funnier podcasts, you can add like spoof edits and
Yeah.
whatnot. I mean, you know how it is with editing.
Yeah.
It's endless.
Right.
Like,
I haven't
go
actually
forever.
got to the like intro music, outro music, like, you know, welcome to the Theo Vaughn, you know, whatever, you know, Steve Weigel, Make Fear a Stranger. Like, I haven't done that. And I'm actually even uploading to RSS right now, which is like the platform that distributes it to like Spotify, Apple Music, and all these other ones. I'm just uploading to YouTube and making clips for Instagram. And I think like for me, I'm going, especially for, you know, there's a quote that says, the first 50 podcasts are for you. The next 50 is where your audience is going to find you. And so I've kind of taken this pressure off for the first 50 and just gone like, I just want to learn to be a good listener. I want to learn to be a good interviewer. I want to learn to be a good podcaster. And then I can actually like get all those other parts of the podcast like dialed in, you know? So that's kind of how I viewed it. So I don't actually have like intro music and stuff, but
Right. Well, I know a really good band that you could use for your intro music. It's actually my son's favorite band, by the way.
What?
My son thinks you're like...
Oh, my band?
Yes, Highland. My son, I'm not kidding, he thinks you're the coolest person in the entire
No way, dude. What
when
a
you
legend.
sent him that video, he's still like, every day when we get in the car, he'll be like, can we call Steve? We got to call Steve, Dad.
Dude, you sent me the video of him like jamming out to one of the songs.
Yeah.
And like 2 days later, my band was in town and we were filming content. And I was like, I just went, guys, we got to send this video real quick. I showed them the one first. And then I was like, we got to film this. And they were we're like, we haven't done this in 10 years. So we're just like beyond thrilled that anyone even cares. You know what I mean? Like we just went.
It's so good, dude.
Thank you, man. That's
you guys
so cool.
Are so good.
Appreciate that. That's fun to hear. And again, you come back after 10, 11, 12 years and you're just kind of like, is anyone going to care? Or, you know, and then we're kind of building even like a new fan base. And that's like, oh, didn't expect that either, you know? Thank you. That's awesome.
And you know, like historically, drummers are like usually the coolest people in the band.
That's historically. I don't know if that's true anymore.
I don't know.
No, that's cool.
I think it holds true.
Yeah.
But you're also the only person I know in the band.
That's so I
I'll
kind
be
of
the judge of that when I meet everyone else.
Yeah, we got it. We're talking about a fall EP release show because we're releasing one more single, and then the whole kind of thing will be out, and then this fall we'll maybe do like a show or something. So, and I think that would be in Minneapolis. That makes the most sense. We've talked about doing a show in Nashville because that's where our lead singer is. But I mean, most of our, you know, really core fan base is here because this is like stomping grounds of Highland. So,
dude, and the best part about it is that I don't have to skip the song because I'm with my kids. You know, like,
he's just
clean
stoked.
music. It's not like, you know, it's Christian. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
Christian alternative.
Yeah, we were a Christian band back when we were like doing it. You know, we
Sure.
played churches and colleges. And we always say like we're Christians in a band.
Christians in a band.
Yeah, like we're all
was kind
and
of
a
my
lot of
view.
our thinking, a lot of our writing is like faith led.
Yeah.
But we're not writing like worship music, you know. We're
Right.
just kind of writing music that is relevant to us at the time and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you never like want to be in the car and hit that song where you like gotta skip, you know? or
Yeah,
whatever, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
And
yeah.
then your kid's like, turn it
No,
back.
we're not dropping like F-bombs or
Right.
something, you know.
No, it's all clean, good music.
Yeah. Thank you.
My son will be like, play it again, play it again,
Yeah.
play it again. And now let's call Steve.
What a dude, you can call me anytime. I would love to talk to him. That sounds so rad.
He'll talk your ear off.
I love it, dude. This kind of like leads into the next question is your faith.
Oh, yeah.
We've had some conversations around faith and I was raised in a church and I don't want to say I'm like jaded, but I'm definitely like, you're like on the come up where you're kind of like new Christian discovering your faith. Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm kind of like, it's not that I'm like, I don't know. I think I view it maybe different than you
For sure.
you do, which is cool. I mean, I think that's the beautiful thing about relationship with Jesus. It's a relationship with a person. And so your relationship is going to be different than my relationship.
Yeah.
But some of the first couple times we hung out, I guess I was really like inspired by just how openly you were able to communicate about it, even though I didn't overly relate to it completely. I was like, I respect that, and I really appreciate that, and I go, I wonder what I can learn from this person. That's like a new journey for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I grew up, we went to church sporadically. I think it was more of a check the box type deal. I was baptized as a kid. I went through confirmation, and then
You're Catholic?
Catholic.
Yeah.
Grew up Catholic.
That's not real Christian. No, I'm just kidding.
There's a lot of cool things about Catholicism.
I agree, actually. I really agree with that.
Catholicism definitely has something. I have a lot of respect for the Catholic Church. But, it was never like my roots, I would say. Maybe it was, and I just didn't know it. But I really steered away for a lot of years in my life, and just... There was maybe a little bit of prayer when I needed something or when I needed help. It was really a one-way relationship. God, I'm in a pickle here.
Yeah.
Can you get me out?
Now
I know it's been 3 years, but and all the good I haven't shown you.
Do you think
God
cares?
Praise, but
I think God's just happy we're coming to Him.
I absolutely do. And He was still answering prayers. That's how merciful and how good He is. Like I said earlier, you kind of start to turn into the people that you're around. And a lot of people that I was surrounding myself with were either faith-rooted people or that they were kind of getting into their faith. I think without faith, you do have a void in your heart. I know that I always had a void in my heart. I always tried to fill it with health and wellness, with alcohol, with pot.
With what?
Pot. Marijuana.
Oh, yeah. Mary Jane.
Yeah, Mary Jane. With, I don't know, whatever. And it never worked. Nothing ever worked, right? So I just kept searching and searching.
And when you say it didn't work, it's not like your life was in shambles. You just felt something was missing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew something was missing.
Yeah.
And it's why I kept searching. So like no one ever pushed. Like I have such good spiritual leaders in my life. No one ever pushed faith on me, but was always open to talk about it. And like, I am definitely the type of person where if I know that you're into something, I'm going to ask you questions about it. Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that I was around, I was asking questions about it, and I felt like I was getting good answers and like attractive answers, and the way that they were living was super fruitful. Yeah. And I was like, they might have that thing that I'm looking for. I don't know. So I started going to church kind of blindly again, started going to a more non-denominational church, just preaching straight out of the Bible. And was just kind of doing that for maybe, 6 to 8 months. Maybe he had a little bit of a prayer life, was just kind of getting into the flow of things. It was really a slow burn for me. I didn't like dive straight in. And we were at church one day, and I turned to the guy next to me and I said, I like when the preacher says, and all God's people say, amen. And he looks at me and he's got this look of like, oh, wait, you've been coming here for like 8 months, but you don't like know much. Yeah. Like that was kind of like, and it kind of clicked for him.
Interesting.
And there was another time that I had mentioned, they're like, what did you get from the sermon today? And I was like, oh, that like Jesus is God. And they were like, oh yeah. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? So like there were breadcrumbs that I had dropped earlier that maybe was missed. But then that guy goes, he just turns to me, he doesn't say anything, or he says something, he goes, we should get lunch. And I was like, yeah, we should. So he asks me kind of my testimony and where I am with my faith. And I was just like kind of all over the place. I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just like kind of coming.
Yeah, exploring.
I honestly just thought the music was just music. I didn't know that it was worship and that it was time to, glorify God. I was like, well, the first 15 minutes is music, so like we can just skip
Dude,
that.
I love that. I think like childlike faith is the best. It sounds like you just had this kind of like, I like when the pastor says, and all God's people say,
It totally was.
That's beautiful.
Faith.
I think more faith should be like that.
And during that lunch, he talked a lot about surrender. And that really hit me. Just that word hit me. I didn't really come out of there being like, oh, I know what surrender is. I got it. Like, I'm going to go surrender my life and everything's going to be good. I just dawned on it for a little bit. And then I asked my neighbor one day, I was like, this word kept coming up in this lunch that I had. What is surrender? Because surrender is not like something you do and then like you're magically saved. It's something that you do every day. It's a daily surrender to Jesus. It is giving your heart to Jesus. It's giving your flesh to Jesus. It's giving him your finances. It's saying that he's in control and you're not. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks. And ever since that conversation, I would say that I started my surrender, and like slowly the scales have just been peeled back from my eyes.
Well, how long ago was that?
This was last April.
Okay.
Yeah,
so just like about a year ago.
Just about a year ago.
And how what have you seen change in your life since then?
Everything.
Like, tangibly,
my speech, the tongue has the power of life and death. Those who love it will eat its fruit. Proverb 18:21. I don't even know how I used to talk. Just not great. Like in a sense of vulgarity.
So like you said a lot of cuss words or something, or
well,
your just speech wasn't necessarily glorifying anything.
Cuss words, yes, but also just the way that I talked about anything.
Yeah.
Whether it was lustful talk.
It wasn't with life.
It just wasn't, it wasn't, godly talk, I would say. Other, like, tangible, you just see the world differently. Like, the world is brighter. Things start to sound
That sounds
different.
nice.
The fresh air smells a little bit fresher. Like, you find that the biggest thing that just like hit me like a ton of bricks was the peace that you get, that Jesus gives you.
Yeah. I feel a lot of what you're describing when I slow down, when I'm just present, when I get off my phone, when I go for a walk. I remember times where I've just been like in a state of like almost zen, and I went for a walk, and it was like I remember this specific time I was walking along St. Anthony, Maine, and I remember like looking over at the city, and it almost looked like a drawing or animation, and the sky was so blue, and I was just like, what is that? So it makes me think like all of it is God. All of it's connecting with God, whether you call it that or think it's that or not. I wasn't intentionally going praying or saying anything like that, but it's like I could feel this sense of peace and just beauty, and I just remember that I could smell, like I had like super senses. All my senses were just like it was crazy. And I think that's I think that has a lot to do with just being present.
And I think that's part of your connection with God. Like,
Yeah.
You grew up with God. Like, I look at that as a new believer and I go, man, how fortunate is that?
Yeah.
That like you truly had like spiritual leaders in your life that just guided you on a path of righteousness. And not saying that I didn't have that by any means. I have amazing parents.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I have incredible grandparents. I just, it's on me that I was the reason that I went off the path. But like, I think
that though is the path.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean?
It definitely is all part
I really
of
believe
it.
that.
I completely agree with that. It's all part of God's larger picture. And like, so like, I think about that picture that you just painted and just looking at the city and like being connected with your creator again, like finally having that presence. And that's when God just comes in and says, still with you, Steve.
Yeah.
I never left.
Yeah. I've like heard God speak in my life very little, like actually like hear his voice audibly. And recently, and I have, been on kind of a journey of exploring even, I think the way I speak of it, God, universe, a lot of it's like interchangeable. I'm kind of just saying like a creator, a something that is in control and oversees everything and is all powerful and all that. And recently I had this moment where I'm just like, I've just not heard anything from God, from universe, from whatever you want to call it. But I was having these moments where I was driving in my car and there'd be moments that would come over me where I would feel this overwhelming sense of peace. And the question that's always in my mind is it going to work out for me? Like, I'm a late bloomer. I'm not married. I don't have kids, and I'm very happy. But I've always felt a little bit behind, or like there's something missing, or like I'm on the outside of what everyone else is experiencing. And what I took that just this over, like this, I'd be driving my car and I could feel myself smile, and then I'd be laughing. And what I took that is like, God knows I'm an idiot. So I forget what he says, but I'll never forget how I feel. Like, feeling is such a powerful emotion, more than just hearing. It's like you remember the things you feel when you saw your wife walking down the aisle. You remember how you felt when you saw the Rocky Mountains for the first time. You remember how you feel when, maybe you had this conversation with your parent, or something that, whatever.
You had your first kid, yeah.
And so I kind of just went like, I think in this season of life, God is speaking to me through how he's making me feel. I like to think that.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of an interesting thought.
Yeah.
And it's cool to think and believe that God would communicate with you in a way that you are open to receiving, or most likely to receive at that time in your life. That's a cool thought. Like,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know much about God speaking audibly to people, but I mean, I don't exactly know how often God really speaks audibly.
Yeah.
Like, God is everywhere. God is creation. I don't think he's knocking on your door saying, "Hey, Mitch, time to get down on your knees and pray."
Right, but at the same time, he's always speaking.
There's whispers that I think you can hear, and I think there's a difference of when you know something's from God and when something's not.
Yeah, but how often do you think people actually try to delineate that? They go like, I'm supposed to go to Hawaii. God told me, whatever it is. I think we're just human, dude, and we're shitheads, And so like, I'm being a little bit of like a naysayer, like a little bit pessimistic, but I think that's what, and this is the thing, is like, I had an amazing experience growing up in the church. My dad was a pastor, but he was so good at just letting me be who I was and then screw up, as I often did. And it was just always there when I messed up, to like love me, and not even just to like bash my head against the Bible, just say, I'm here. Yeah. Here's some words of wisdom that, I get from the Bible, but you take it as you want. And so he was really amazing at that. And so it's not like I'm like this overly jaded, person against Christianity. I think I'm a little bit careful about anything where people can easily leverage that thing for control of others.
And that's something that I think is just from growing up around Christians.
Have you seen the Book of Eli?
Yes.
It's Denzel Washington, and he's blind, and he's walking across the country to get the one and only Bible. It's like post-apocalyptic. Right. Everything's destroyed. And he's taken this Bible to the island right outside San Francisco, the prison. Yeah. And because that's where God led him to walk to. Yeah. And that's where everyone's like, they're taking all the books in the world and trying to make sure preserve them and whatever. And there's this guy, the villain of the movie is this guy that his whole mission in the movie is to find the Bible. Yeah. Because he knows it's powerful. And the people that are around him out searching and killing and robbing people for any book they can find are going, why is this one book so important? And he's like, because it can control people. Oh. He knows that there's power in that he can use to control and manipulate people.
So that's human, I would say.
That's human, yeah.
That's human. That's not God.
No. I
God's
wasn't saying it was God.
Right. Yeah.
I'm saying I'm very leery of, and maybe a little bit standoffish from most things that are can be used to manipulate and control. And so I think that's what makes me a little bit jaded around it.
And like, I think there's a common misconception of people that Christians are all like good people and that they're supposed to set the standard, which they are.
That would be
but
nice to believe.
The church is the house of the broken. It's not.
Yeah.
You know,
and maybe if we came off like that, people wouldn't think we're such pricks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's part of vulnerability and just being open and honest with people and like loving people.
Yeah.
And like I always say that if you look across when you're talking to someone and you don't see another broken human talking to you, then you got to reevaluate inside. Yeah. Because every person that you look at is broken in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. I think like when you get hit with the peace that transcends all understanding that God gives, and you kind of talked about how open I was to talking about it. I think it's kind of hard to shut up about, to be honest. Because if I had the cure to cancer, I'd go and save every person in the world who had cancer. Well, I know that we live in an anxiety-ridden, depression-ridden world. And I think I have something here. You know? Like, so I want to tell everybody. Yeah. I want to tell that broken person that I'm talking to. Yeah. Like, listen, we have a creator.
We got some answers. Yeah.
We got some answers. We have a creator. There is an ultimate director here. He has a plan. He has a purpose. I understand that we get bogged down by sin, but that's why we have Jesus. Jesus saved us. No one is coming to save you ever. Jesus already did. Jesus did the work. He paid the price. He paid the debt. Yeah. Not saying go out and sin, but I'm just saying he did it so that we could have peace and that we could go live freely. And when it took me 31 years to discover that. And that's why I'm like,
gung ho.
Let's go.
Yeah. You're like, I got the good news.
I think it was when I was out with you, actually. We were kind of at that little party. Yeah. I had quoted a proverb, and someone turns to me and he goes, "Oh, that's very yogi of you." And I was like,
very what? Yogi? Yeah, like
very
hippie?
Yogi of you. And I was like, that's very biblical.
Yeah, that's the Bible, brother.
Because I think that everything is, especially when you start getting into Scripture, every good thing is just a one-off from Scripture.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
And that book is alive. That's one of the first, that's something that whacked me in the face too, is just, I tried reading the Bible in college in some of my, lowest moments, and it made no sense. It looked like Chinese. Like
I've felt that before.
I'd read a sentence.
I still feel that way with the Bible. I'm like, I don't understand any of this.
And see now, and then I went back into it, and the words were just flying off the page, and I was remembering the Scripture, and it just made no sense. It was so divine, and I know it wasn't from me. Because I haven't experienced anything like this in my life. And I've experienced a lot of different things. The evil one had his grasp on me for a long time. And sometimes he works. He actually does work best in comfort. He wants you to feel comfortable. He wants you to feel like you don't need something. But man, I try my best not to push faith on anyone, but I just have a hard time not seeing a broken person with every person that I'm talking to, because I know I'm broken. Yeah. So if you're not, yeah. So I love Jesus.
Thanks for sharing, man.
He is the ultimate savior that I do truly believe every single person on this planet should get to know. Yeah. That's going to maybe be a controversial statement, but that's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right.
Dude, I love it. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Question number 5 is, what are you afraid of?
Well,
The podcast.
my Bible would tell me
Yeah.
around 70 times, don't be afraid.
Do not be afraid. Yeah.
But actually, I was thinking about this question earlier today. And to say that I have no fear, I'd be lying.
Yeah.
My biggest fear, and a lot of parents can probably relate to this, is my kids growing up and having problems, whether they have anxiety or whether they have trauma or they remember all the bad from our parenting. My biggest fear is for sure screwing my kids up.
Yeah. How do you move past fear?
How do you move past the Bible, God, relationship with Jesus? Honestly, a lot of prayer time, a lot of time in Scripture. If God tells me not to be afraid, that means I should not be afraid. Do I resist? Of course. I live in flesh.
Yeah, it's like, what is the fear gonna do anyways to help that thing not become true? Nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and there's actually times where you can focus on a fear and actually draw it into your life because you're going, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And then the second it happens, you go, see, I knew it was going to happen. It's like, well, you kind of manifested that into your life, you know? It's like, you know, so either a year goes by and you've felt this entire year in fear, or you just give it up to God or to whatever and just go like, I refuse to believe or have that thought until it happens. And then if and when it does, I can deal with it then, you know, but.
Yeah, there's so much good scripture about not being afraid. Like, look at David. Taking down Goliath with one slingshot.
Yeah.
David was his little shepherd boy.
Yeah, he's a little shit.
I think this might have just been in House of David. I don't know if this is actual scripture. But in the show, when he was looking for the pebble, Jonathan, the son of Saul, came out to the river or the stream to kind of console with David. And he said something that just like rocked my soul. And Jonathan was like, you have nothing. Like, you have no armor. Like, what do you... I fear that God is not with us, David. And David turns to him, and it's this skinny little shepherd boy, and he goes, that's because he's not with us. He's out there when we face our fears. And I was like, let's go.
Let's freaking go.
Let's go, David. If you haven't watched that show, I would highly recommend. That is
my friends do the like social media for that show.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, some of my like really good friends do the like all the social media for House of David.
What?
Yeah, but I've never seen it because I don't have like, is it on Hulu or is it on, I don't know,
It's
Amazon
on
something?
Amazon.
Yeah. All I remember about that story is David picked up 5 perfect stones. That's like what I always read in the Bible, or my mom read to me, or someone read to me. It's like, David went to the creek and picked up 5 perfect stones, which is so cool.
Well, that's also one of those stories that you think of kind of as like this fairy tale story.
Yeah.
And that you can think of as like not being real. And 2 Timothy would tell us that all scripture is God breathed, which means that all scripture is from God. All scripture is real and true. So when you watch House of David, I just think it puts more of a reality to those fairy tale stories, or those stories that we think are fairy tales.
Yeah, because you're actually seeing real people perform or act, you know?
Yeah, how it could have gone.
Again, this is like the naysayer in me, but I'm like, how many times I would love to be able to translate and read some original script of the Bible. I think that'd be so interesting.
Yeah. I think I sent something to you on Instagram about in Psalm 22 when it says, I am a worm, but not a man.
I don't remember that.
Oh, so good. So in is it Psalm 22 or Psalm 23? Psalm 22, which starts off with, my God, why have you forsaken me? which is Jesus' final words on the cross. So
Yeah.
it was his last prophecy.
Yeah.
And in that psalm, it says, I am a worm, but not a man. But in the original manuscript, it says tola. And a tola is like a very specific worm. It's called a crimson worm. And this crimson worm has one purpose, and it is to give birth one time in their life. And after it gives birth, I love your little, and then they die. After it gives birth, no, it's more than that. It sticks itself to a piece of wood for 3 days. It hardens its shell, and then the children come and eat it alive.
Dude, that is so gnarly.
But it's
nature's metal.
Dude, but like that's exactly what Jesus did.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, obviously he's not, but like it's, you read something like that and you're just like, what the Psalms were written like 1,000 years before Jesus. Like,
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, wild. Very interesting.
You see stuff like that and you're like, that's not just made up. There's not some like some guy in the 80s didn't just like,
dude, you should do like a Bible
book.
podcast and like teach people about the Bible.
I would love that. That's kind of where my mind has been going on how am I going to structure this? What's it going to look like?
Yeah.
Am I going to do it with like a friend?
Don't do it with me.
So yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
I'm still wrestling with all that on how I'm going to get back into it, but yeah, stay tuned for more because you might hear more from the Bauer Hour.
Yeah. I found this quote while I was preparing with this last question. It says, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Nelson Mandela, which I think is rad. There's one by Gandhi. It says, the enemy is fear. We think it is hate, but it is fear. And I love that too. Like even what we see so much in our society today of we're all against the people group that's opposite us. And it's like, we actually don't hate them. We fear people different than us. And so it's not even, hate is like a consequence of the fear, but it really starts with fear, which I think is so true. And the podcast being called Make Fear a Stranger, I just have to squeeze stuff like that in every now and then.
Absolutely.
I love this idea that we're all living these stories and that we all had to overcome some sort of fear to get here. I think fear is the thing that keeps us from purpose, fulfillment, and love. And so if you want purpose, you have to overcome the fear that you're not good enough. If you want to pursue love, you have to overcome the fear that you're not worthy. If you want to overcome anything, if you want to pursue anything, you got to overcome some level of fear. So it impacts every part of our life all the time. And so I just love talking about it. I appreciate you. Fun to talk. Got any last words? You nod on something over there.
Well, I was going to ask you a question, but even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you
are with me. My rod and my staff, they comfort me.
Your rod and your staff, they comfort me.
I know some Bible verses.
You prepare a table before my enemies.
In the presence of my enemies.
In the presence of my enemies.
Yeah. What verse is that?
You anoint my head with oil.
Is that a psalm?
My cup overflows. Yeah, Psalm 23.
23. I should know that.
Yeah, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. So good, dude. I was going to ask you, what are you afraid of? If that's okay. I know you're the interviewer, but
that's
I'm gonna
great.
flip the script here on you and just try and rock your world for a sec.
Yeah.
Like when do you feel like a little skittish?
Yeah, I'm afraid of being like abandoned, especially by like friends or like a partner, like a wife or something.
Yeah.
That's like a really scary thing to me. My first girlfriend ever, my first love, my first everything, sweetest girl ever, went away to college and cheated on me within like a week.
Oh, no.
It was just like brutal.
Yeah.
And I just carried that for way too long because it's like, dude, everyone's been cheated on. Like, get over it.
Yeah.
But I'm like sensitive. I'm a sensitive guy. And I'm a bit of as much as I like, I'm 40 and I'm not in a relationship, like I'm a bit of a romantic. And I don't want to just date someone because it makes sense. I want to be with someone where on paper it almost doesn't make sense. But there are these intangible things that connect us in a way that it's like you maybe can't even overly explain, which also makes trying to seek out a partner hard. It's like I don't have these like boxes I want to check. I just kind of know, there's very few women that I really feel like that with, like that I actually am like, whoa, I want to be, so yeah, that's a fear of mine. Losing people I love. I think like opening my mouth and my words not having impact. That's a fear of mine. It's like, I don't want to just be another person that makes noise on the internet. I want my words to be meaningful and impactful. Those are some that are pretty up there.
Yeah. Your life partner is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. So it's good to be picky.
Yeah, I think so.
To be niche.
Yeah, and I'm not like telling a sob story. I'm 40 and unhappy. Like I could have been married by now. Yeah, of course. I just I think for a long time I just wasn't interested, and now I am. But now it's like I have to kind of like figure out what is it that I even want in that, and what does it even look like for someone like me. I think most, not all, a lot of women I know are, the biggest thing they're seeking in a partner is stability and safety. And not that I'm not stable or safe, but when you date or marry Steve, you're not going to get like a house in the suburbs with a white picket fence and a minivan. Like I might move our asses to Thailand. You know what I mean? Like obviously I wouldn't just do that, but like that's the spirit I want to live this life with. I want to live this life with mystery and like, and danger at times and whimsy and risk. And I think women are in generally like, that sounds nice. Like they're like drawn to that. But then once they get closer, like, oh, this dude's serious. Like, he actually might like move our asses to Thailand. But anyways, so it's been an interesting journey, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, you like to live with risk, so you should have children, because that's risk every day.
I know.
Every single thing you see is for the longest Final Destination with your kids.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. For the longest time, marriage and, kids almost felt like settling down. Oh, okay. But I've tried to reframe that as like, that's like the biggest adventure you could go on, So I've tried really hard to like reframe that in my mind. Yeah. So
get over that hump. It's the coolest thing. Dude, and then you see this like creation, and you like they come straight from this God, little and they like smell incredible.
Yeah, I know.
And this
baby smell is wild.
This is a Mitch thought, but not a fact by any means. I believe that is what heaven smells like. A newborn baby.
Interesting.
They smell.
Yeah, it's insane.
Indescribable.
Yeah, I know.
But like you can't stop smelling it.
Yeah.
You can't stop sniffing it. It's like it's so pure and so like you're just I don't know.
Yeah, it's cool. I know. I've smelled a baby or two in my day. Not just random ones, by the way, but yeah.
You see a newborn baby on the street, you're like, you care if I get a sniff of your baby?
Yeah. I love that. I'm inspired by you, bro. I hope you know that in all these different areas we talked about. And I think like I think I'm drawn to you because there's tension with some of the things you say, especially around faith, that I just go, and that's why I love you, dude, because I remember the first time we hung out in the sauna and I was like, I don't believe in hell. And you're like, oh, but you weren't like turned off by it. You weren't weird about it. You just went, oh, and I think it's a beautiful thing when you kind of be in a relationship with someone that you probably see things pretty differently, but in general, we are on the same path. Like we are going the same direction. We want to love people. We want to serve people. We want to live an adventurous life. We want to have fun. And I appreciate you a ton. I love you, bro.
Amen. I appreciate you. I love you too, dude. This was so fun. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.